Not long ago, Chelsea were the joke of European football. $1 billion spent. Dozens of signings. 4 managers in a season. And what did they get in return? Chaos. No chemistry, no trophies, no plan. But then, something changed. From the shadows stepped Enzo Moresca, a quiet tactician with no fanfare and no ego. 8 months later, Chelsea didn't just rise. They exploded. They dismantled PSG. They conquered Europe's elite, and they did it with a team no one believed in. This isn't a comeback, it's a warning. Chelsea are building something terrifying, and the rest of Europe should be very, very afraid. Chelsea didn't fall overnight. It was a slow, painful collapse disguised as ambition. It started with the departure of Thomas Tuchel, the man who had led them to Champions League glory just a year before. His exit marked the beginning of a spiral that no one at the club seemed able to stop. Then came the spending spree. Not strategy, not vision, just chaos. Over 50 players signed, over 1.6 billion euros spent. And somehow the team looked worse with every new arrival. Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital took control with promises of a new era. But what followed was confusion, panic buys, and 4 managers in one season. Tuchel, Potter, Bruno Saltor, Lampard. Each more lost than the last. Chelsea weren't just underperforming, they were unrecognizable. Marc Cucurella looked like a ghost of the player they paid £65 million for. Mudryk, once hailed as the next superstar, disappeared under pressure. And even $106 million Enzo Fernandez looked stranded in midfield, drowning in a system that didn't exist. The fans turned. The media mocked. Rivals laughed. It was the darkest chapter in Chelsea's modern history. $1 billion puzzle with no picture on the box. No one expected what would come next. He wasn't supposed to be the answer. When Enzo Moresca was announced as Chelsea's next manager, the headlines weren't glowing. In fact, most fans had to Google his name. No elite coaching experience. No Champions League credentials. Just a quiet resume that included a stint with Manchester City's U23s and a recent promotion campaign with Leicester. But behind that modest exterior was a mind molded by Pep Guardiola. Moresca didn't bring a personality cult or media charm. He brought order and a plan. From day one, he made it clear. Chelsea needed a reset, not just a refresh. The first move? Ruthless cuts. Big-name flops and overhyped signings were either benched or reshaped. No favoritism, no excuses. He took what looked like a broken squad and began turning it into something functional. Then something dangerous. And the cost of this revolution? Just 12 million euros. The fee to trigger his release clause from Leicester. That fee has already paid for itself. Twice. Moresca didn't just bring discipline. He brought a new blueprint. Within weeks, Chelsea began playing like a team with purpose. Not just running, rotating. Not just pressing, suffocating. Not just surviving, hunting. It didn't feel like luck. It felt like the start of something cold, calculated, and unstoppable. What Moresca brought to Chelsea wasn't just structure, it was science. While other managers chase trends, he installs systems. His vision? Total control of space, tempo, and pressure. And his players? They execute like a synchronized machine. Chelsea's base shape looks like a 4-2-3-1, but it's a lie. In reality, it morphs constantly. Out of possession, Moresca's team defends man-to-man across the pitch. Wingers track fullbacks. Midfielders step into channels. Center backs don't sit. They chase. Verticality is everything. Chelsea bait you with slow build-up, then slice you open with a sudden switch. One moment, the ball's in their half. The next, it's Palmer, threading a pass through 4 defenders. And João Pedro is in behind. This isn't a hot streak. It's not luck. It's a blueprint. And here's the terrifying part. Moresca built all of this in just 8 months. Chelsea don't just play football anymore. They play chess. And they're always 3 moves ahead. No one expected Chelsea to win the Club World Cup. Not even their own fans. Drawn into a storm of doubt, travel, and tension, their campaign started like a bad joke. A red card to Nicholas Jackson. Matches delayed by lightning storms. A 5-hour marathon against Benfica and Charlotte, including 2 hours of players stretching in hallways and FaceTiming family while waiting out the thunder. Enzo Moresca called the entire situation a joke. But behind the frustration, he was plotting something. He rotated his squad relentlessly, rested legs when others ran their stars into exhaustion. While big clubs gambled on brute force, Chelsea played the long game. And it worked. Quarterfinals? Palmeiras crushed. Semifinals? João Pedro hit a double and booked their ticket to the final. Then came PSG. Champions League winners, tactical juggernauts, Luis Enrique's pride. And Chelsea made them look ordinary? 3 first-half goals. Every move ruthless. Every pass calculated. Palmer froze defenders. João Pedro danced through gaps. Caicedo ran like a machine. And Gusto stormed the flank like it was his personal runway. By halftime, it was 3-0. By full-time, Donald Trump, yes, Trump, was handing Chelsea the trophy. From a club mocked for wasting billions yuan to world champions in 49 days. 3 finals, 3 trophies, 0 losses. This wasn't just a redemption arc, it was a statement. Chelsea were no longer a mess. They were a machine, and the world had just witnessed its first test run. Every great team has a partnership that defines an era. Chelsea had Lampard and Drogba. Now they have Cole Palmer and João Pedro, 2 players with very different stories, but one terrifying connection. Cole Palmer was Manchester City's quiet prodigy. Let go without much fuss. A fringe talent, some said. Not Pep's favorite. But under Moresca, he's become something else entirely. A conductor with ice in his veins. In 7 tournament games, Palmer racked up 5 goals and 2 assists. Always calm, always decisive, and always in the right place. Then there's João Pedro. Signed mid-tournament. No fanfare, no hype. But the impact? Immediate. A brace in the semi-final. Constant movement. Relentless energy. Together, they rip defenses apart. Palmer drifts between the lines, drawing defenders with him. João Pedro darts behind, timing his runs with sniper precision. One releases, the other finishes. Then they switch. It's unstoppable. For the first time in years, Chelsea don't just look dangerous. They look inevitable. A young squad, a ruthless system, a coach who sees 3 moves ahead, and a war chest still overflowing. Enzo Moresca isn't building for a one-off. He's building a dynasty. The average age of the squad? Barely 24. Most of their stars, Palmer, João Pedro, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, aren't even in their prime. And yet they're already outclassing European giants. The Club World Cup was proof of concept. The Conference League was just a warm-up. And next season, Chelsea returned to the Champions League. This time wearing the world champion badge on their kits and walking into stadiums with genuine fear trailing behind them. Meanwhile, the board is ready to back Moresca with another $500 million transfer window. But this time, it won't be reckless. It'll be precision. This is no longer the Chelsea that threw money at every shiny name. This is a club with a vision, a backbone, and a strategy that works. And here's what should keep Europe awake at night. They've only just started. 3 years ago, Chelsea were spiraling. Mocked for spending, directionless on the pitch, and drowning in the weight of their own ambition. Now, they've built something terrifying. They've conquered chaos. They've mastered identity. And under Enzo Moresca, they've gone from laughingstock to blueprint. This isn't a team relying on luck. This is a machine, programmed to suffocate, to adapt, to strike. Every player knows their role. Every match looks more polished. Every opponent leaves looking shell-shocked. Cole Palmer is evolving into a generational talent. João Pedro is growing into a big game killer. The system is working. The fear is real. And the future is already in motion. Chelsea aren't asking for respect anymore, they're taking it. And if Europe doesn't wake up soon, this won't just be Chelsea's era. It'll be their empire.